Hi, I'm Matt, here in Michigan.
And I'm Randall, here in Texas.
Randall, what the heck do you got there?
Oh, it's Freshka, Matt. You want some?
I think I'm gonna pass on this one, but
Oh,
go ahead, knock yourself out.
okay. Okay, I'll save this for later. Okay? Just put this right back up here. There we go. This week, Matt and we're taking a look at The Boys Season 2. The follow-up to the critically acclaimed Season 1 of The Boys stars Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Anthony Starr, Aaron Moriarty, Dominique McElligott, Laz Alonso, Tomer Capone, Aya Cash, and Karen Fukuhara.
The show is based on the comic book of the same name. It's created by Eric Kripke, who's also the creator of Supernatural, Revolution, and Timeless. This show is the most watched show on Amazon Prime, and season 2 had the largest premiere for an Amazon Prime exclusive. This show has received high praise from critics and is also enjoyed by audiences. It's been greenlit for a third season, and a spin-off is in the works. Now, here in season 2, the group known as the Boys are still trying to take down the Supes and the company they work for. The world now knows that the Supes were made instead of born, but there's a new threat from super terrorists, or super villains if you ask Homelander. So, Randall, what'd you think of season 2 of The Boys?
In almost every single measurable metric, Season 2 of The Boys is better than Season 1, and I liked Season 1 quite a bit.
Say what?
Very happy with what I saw here. Hope you guys all enjoyed the Freshka gag. If you've seen the series, it will completely make sense.
I love season 2. I'm actually disappointed that it's over. When I got done watching season 2, kept thinking like, man, I wish there were more episodes of The Boys to watch. So I can't wait for season 3. And I agree with you. I enjoyed season 2 more than I enjoyed season 1. In season 1, I kind of fell out of it for a little bit. I got to a certain point in season 1 and I stopped watching it for a while. I had to come back to the show. Season 2, not the case. I kept watching season 2 whenever the episodes were coming up. And this isn't one that I binge watched. This was one where it's like, the next episode's out, the next episode's out, the next episode's out. So, yeah, I was really disappointed when season 2 came to an end. Can't wait for season 3.
This really did not pull any punches. It's satire and it is serious about the topics that it's talking about, but at the same time, it is just having so much fun discussing that and no hold bars. It's violent, it's gross and disgusting, but what they're trying to get across is clear. That being said, I don't want to heap universal praise on it. There are a couple of things, just two very, very relevant things to me that stick out. I absolutely love Carl Urban and all of his portrayals of all these many characters, including Billy Butcher. But I can't, for the life of me, watching season 1 and season 2, see Billy Butcher, the character, ever being a CIA agent. He does not have the disposition to be a CIA agent. The skills, yes. The personality, no. So that always throws me a little bit off, even though I love the character. It's so well acted and so well done and so fun to watch. It just isn't how that would ever happen in real life.
One of the criticisms I would kind of go on, one of the things I really like about season 2 is I like the supers in this a whole lot more. Everything with the supers I love, but on the downside of that, I don't really care as much for Hughie and Starlight. They were like our main characters in season 1, and season 2 I really don't care for their storylines as much. Billy Butcher, front and center, really good in this. His stuff, and Becca, which we found out at the end of season 1, is alive. So it's interesting to see where they take that in season 2. But the Supes, especially the Deep. The Deep is one of the most deplorable characters in the whole thing. But everything that the Deep goes through had me laughing. I laughed so hard at all the different things that happened to the Deep in this series.
I agree with you. I think, though, for me, it's not Hughie and Starlight's storyline that suffers. It's Frenchie and Kimiko's storyline that suffers. That's the side story where I'm like, you know, I don't think this is adding a ton to the series that needed to be explored in order for the characters to work together towards the ultimate end that we get to. That's not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, wow, Kimiko has a couple of things that are really rushed with her personal life and her family in this. And then you have this long, drawn out story of Frenchie and like his past working, against the Supes. And I thought that one for me was a little bit. But the point is, some of the side stories detract, regardless of which one you don't like or I don't like, from the main event. And the main event in this series in season 2 is so good that you're like, let's stop talking about all that stuff. Get back to the main event.
And one thing I gotta let the audience know, Randall and I have not read the comics, so we are going right into the show having no real knowledge of the backstory. I know a lot of people have read the comics before the show came out and have enjoyed watching it, and a lot of stuff that plays out in the comics plays out in the show, but Randall and I don't have that background. Now, one thing about Season 2 that I really like is an addition, the character Stormfront. I think Stormfront was an excellent character addition to this show to kind of find out who she really is and stuff. Really, that's one of the good focal points for this season. And I think one of the highlights of it as well.
Oh yeah, her character is so much fun to watch, and then eventually you're like, nope, I hate that character just as much as I hate Homelander. Like, you're like, oh wow, she's cool, she's hip, she's fun, and then as the story progresses, you're like, ugh. But you're gonna have to watch the series in order to that. I'm not spoiling anything in that realm, other than you might be disgusted with her character at some point.
Don't stop.
Another really interesting, fun thing that this series does is it's always poking at superheroes in general. Like the suits are tight and uncomfortable, and they poke fun at that.
You want to talk about girl power? Let's talk about getting some pockets.
Always making fun of. There's a scene where Stormfront has a Starbucks coffee, and it says storefront on it. And like, okay, they're meta and they're making fun of things. This show consistently makes fun of little things, and it comes back and it's a joke again and it's a joke again. They do it a lot through Stormfront's character. So not only is she a great addition, but she also is the vehicle through which they get a lot of their poking, prodding points in.
Also, too, I like what they did with Queen Maeve a little bit in this. We find out more about her character and background and different things that drive her. I think that's really good in the second season. Also, a little bit more about the higher-ups at Vought. You see some new top players to fill that power gap or whatever, and it's really interesting to see who's pulling the strings and stuff for the company.
After Miss Stillwell's untimely demise. I can't shake there's a particular thought in season 2 that I fully support Homelander's decision. I can't shake that. Now it's in my mind again. Ugh.
This show plays a lot on shock factor for different things, and there is definitely some shocking scenes in it. That's part of the charm of this too, is just how outlandish some of these things are. When I say I like the Supes in this, I don't actually like the Supes as people. They're deplorable characters. They're horrible.
But they're fun to watch. Speaking of just fun to watch and people just having fun, even behind the scenes, this is someone made this decision behind the scenes. Sean Ashmore comes in and he plays Lamplighter, and I'm like, someone was like, hey, remember the guy who played Iceman in X-Men? Let's get him to do a fire character. And I'm like, oh my god, is that him? I had to go look it up, like, that is him? Oh my. The producers, the directors, the actors, the characters, the show is a lot of fun to watch, but it is super violent. It has, mature audience written all over it. But if you're interested in this kind of fun, action-y superhero, but not real good superhero stuff, yeah, you're going to love season 2.
I absolutely love season 2. Highly recommend it. But like Randall says, it's not for everyone for sure. Definitely not for young audiences. Totally adults. Definitely one that once you've watched it and other people watch it, it's really fun to talk about with your friends. Let's know what you think about season 2 of The Boys. If you've checked it out or haven't checked it out yet, let us know in the comments below. Also, let us know if you like our review. Give us a thumbs up. Also, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified about our next videos. We release videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And also be sure to check us out on Facebook. We will always post a day before our videos come out to let you know what video is coming out next. For now, I'm Matt here in Michigan. Have a good day.
And I'm Randall here in Texas. Matt, are you sure you wouldn't like some Freshka?
Nope, I'm passing.
Okay. I'll see everyone in the next one.
Next time on No Market Media. Please consider checking out some of our other videos.